Supply chain is everything from raw materials to getting the product to the end customer. So for example, this shirt I'm wearing or this sweater. Supply chain is beginning with the material for this sweater, everything in between making this sweater and getting it to me. All of that is supply chain.
Let's first look at supply chain as thinking of inputs come into a company and they turn it into something, and then they have an output which goes into the next company or their next customer. So there's the chain, right? And every time you have an input and you have to turn it into something, those are all the different types of career things. So the question of, well, what kind of careers are there? It's any piece that is bringing that material in, turning it into something, and sending it out as something of value to your customer. So now if we think about careers, every step of that needs some sort of interaction.
Lots of different areas within supply chain in the field where somebody could get into, from demand planning to resource coordinating, matching demand against capacity. Purchasing, is another aspect as well. So lots of areas.
There's so many things you can do in supply chain. You can do purchasing, you can do material planning, you can do scheduling, warehouse management. It's just production management. It's just, the possibilities are just out there. There's so many different possibilities in supply chain.
My first role in supply chain was actually in purchasing. I started as a buyer, actually on a capital project. Stayed a buyer for several years, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed just the touch on the other aspects in supply chain as well. So I moved over to a demand planner role, at one point, and then we moved into a resource coordinator. Today I'm doing a lot of project planning, to develop new products and make sure that we have all the things in order. That's an aspect of supply chain as well.
How much do I need? Where on the line do I need it? What does it need to be like? What kind of quality does it have to have? Those are all different types of jobs that have to figure that out.
Supply chain is a great field. I know that people, a lot of students will say, well, what is supply chain? What is it? It could be whatever you want it to be. It could be, again, a production manager or a warehouse manager. You can work in supply chain in a hospital. You could work at supply chain right here in a school. I worked in supply chain 24 years, great career, and I decided that after all that time, I wanted to come and tell students about supply chain and teach them what it is and where you can go and where you can use the skills that you learn here from supply chain.
I'd say right now, just given like the global supply chain issues that are going on, I mean there's demand for all the different roles.
The first thing is you gotta be willing to enjoy managing projects, and I'm talking long term, because depending on what field you're in, you will manage a project for a year or more. So great communication skills, technologically savvy, I would say, but just the ability to be able to handle a project for over a year sometimes. If you look on LinkedIn, and some of the other websites, there's a lot of jobs in supply chain, and people don't think about when they see purchasing at a hospital, and not just in manufacturing. We're talking hospitals, we're talking schools, we're talking supply chain roles are available everywhere in a lot of the fields. And so with this area being the manufacturing hub, jobs are plentiful here now and in the future as well.
And this is stuff you learn at Greenville Tech. You learn how to do, or what that all means. What kind of thought process do I need to be able to understand how to go get that stuff?
The program is heavily ERP, which is Enterprise Resource Planning. So if you take the supply chain program here, you're going to delve into a lot of SAP. That's a software that most of the industries here, the manufacturing facilities here, are using. And so we want to expose the students to it as early as possible to get them that exposure so that when they get out there, SAP won't be foreign to them. So you're going to do SAP, you're going to do supply chain, you're going to do purchasing. So there's a lot of different classes to take in the supply chain program.
You have to like solving puzzles. That's kind of how I see supply chain. It's just a never-ending puzzle, just playing Tetris day in and day out, and just making sure all the pieces fit together.